In this world, it often seems that only grand gestures or monumental events can make a difference. We may look at great leaders, vast enterprises, or historic moments and believe that real change requires power, wealth, or notoriety. Yet the true nature of transformation lies not in the large, but in the small and the seemingly insignificant. Consider for a moment the truth that the greatest forces in life often begin in the quietest, most unremarkable places. A small seed, planted with care, can grow into a towering tree, sheltering generations to come. A single drop of water, falling endlessly, can carve through rock, shaping valleys and mountains. Similarly, the smallest of our acts, those we might dismiss as trivial, have a way of shaping the world in ways we may never fully comprehend. But we must ask ourselves, what gives these small acts such power? It is not the size of the act itself, but the quality of the intention behind it. A gesture of kindness, a moment of integrity, or a word of encouragement may seem fleeting, yet each carries with it the potential to influence someone's life profoundly. When we choose to act with goodness, however small, we do not just change our immediate surroundings, we ignite a spark that, in time, may travel far beyond what we can see. It is easy to think that our actions do not matter after all. What difference can a single person make in a world so vast and complicated? But this thinking disregards one of the most fundamental truths about human existence: we are all connected. Our actions touch others in ways we cannot predict. The kindness we show one person may lift their spirit, and in turn they may extend that kindness to someone else. This ripple effect extends far beyond our understanding, creating a web of interconnectedness where small acts continue to create waves of impact. Imagine, then, the profound responsibility each of us carries. Every day we have countless opportunities to choose how we will act. Will we be indifferent, or will we choose to contribute something positive? In the quiet moments of decision, when no one is watching, we make choices that shape not only our own lives but also the course of history. History, after all, is not shaped by the grand gestures alone, but by the accumulation of individual decisions, often made by ordinary people. A compassionate word spoken at the right moment can offer someone the hope they desperately need. A small act of courage may inspire others to rise to their own challenges. These acts may not make headlines, but they are the threads from which the fabric of a better world is woven. Small beginnings often seem unimportant in the grand scheme of things. We tend to overlook or dismiss the value of seemingly insignificant acts, especially when they don't produce immediate, visible results. However, history teaches us that the most profound changes often start with humble actions. A small idea can grow into a revolution, a single word can start a movement, and one person's quiet determination can inspire a global shift. It is essential to understand that real power lies not in grand gestures, but in the small, thoughtful acts that often go unnoticed. For instance, the story of the butterfly effect, a concept in chaos theory that suggests that the flap of a butterfly's wings in one part of the world can set off a chain of events leading to a major change elsewhere. While this may seem like a fanciful metaphor, it illustrates an important truth that small, seemingly insignificant actions can have far-reaching consequences. A simple decision made today can alter the course of tomorrow in ways we cannot predict. What may appear as a minor choice or a fleeting moment in time can snowball into something much more substantial. The power of small beginnings is also evident in nature. Consider the growth of a tree. A single seed, buried in the soil, begins its journey as a tiny speck, seemingly incapable of becoming anything more than what it is in that moment. Yet through time, this small seed, nurtured by the right conditions, grows into a towering presence, offering shelter, oxygen, and sustenance to countless living beings. What appears as an inconsequential beginning holds within it the potential for something monumental. Similarly, we too start with small acts, simple decisions, kind words, or thoughtful gestures that, when nurtured, can grow into something much more significant than we could have imagined. These small acts often build momentum. Just as a pebble thrown into a pond creates ripples that spread far beyond the point of impact, a single act of kindness, courage, or dedication can inspire others to take similar actions. Consider the example of an individual who decides to act with integrity, even when no one is watching. This person's decision may go unnoticed at first, but it can have a powerful effect on those around them. One person's honesty can inspire others to follow suit, creating a culture of trust and accountability. Over time, these small ripples can become waves of change, affecting an entire community and even society as a whole. The importance of small beginnings is also reflected in the way we view progress. In the age of instant gratification and rapid technological advancements, we are often conditioned to expect immediate results from our efforts. We are taught to believe that the larger, more visible accomplishments are the only ones that matter. However, this view overlooks the fact that all progress, no matter how grand, is the cumulative result of countless small actions. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every step forward begins with a simple idea, a tiny spark that ignites a larger flame. Even the most impressive achievements are built on a foundation of small, deliberate actions taken over time. Small beginnings are more powerful because they are free from the pressure of expectations. Large projects, major movements, and ambitious goals often come with a weight of anticipation and scrutiny. When we set out to achieve something significant, we can become paralyzed by the enormity of the task. Small beginnings, on the other hand, allow us to act with freedom. They do not require perfection, and they do not need to be grand. Instead, they provide the opportunity to take a step without fear of failure. It is in these small, low-pressure moments that the seeds of great things are planted. Small beginnings allow for growth and adaptation. When we start small, we give ourselves the opportunity to learn, adjust, and improve along the way. If we begin with a grand vision and attempt to scale it immediately, we are likely to encounter obstacles that we are not prepared to face. However, by starting small, we can test our ideas, refine our approach, and build the necessary skills to move forward. This incremental growth leads to more sustainable progress and a deeper understanding of what we are truly capable of. Another reason why small beginnings are so powerful is that they are accessible to everyone. Large, world-changing actions often seem out of reach to the average person. We may look at influential leaders or global movements and think that we lack the means or the influence to create change on such a scale. However, small beginnings are within everyone's grasp. No matter who we are, we can all make a difference through small acts of kindness, thoughtfulness, or dedication. These small actions may not seem significant in the moment, but collectively they can create a groundswell of change that transforms communities, nations, and even the world. Small beginnings are often the most authentic. In a world that frequently values speed, scale, and surface-level success, small acts offer an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. When we start small, we are less concerned with external validation and more focused on the integrity of our actions. It is through these small acts, driven by genuine intention, that we cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that cannot be achieved through mere ambition or status. Responsibility is a weighty word, one that often conjures images of burdens or obligations. However, when viewed through the lens of individual impact, responsibility becomes a powerful catalyst for change. Each of us is entrusted with the responsibility to shape the world we live in. Our actions, choices, and behaviors influence not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us, and even, in more subtle ways, the broader society. The reality is that every action, no matter how small, contributes to the formation of the world. Whether we recognize it or not, we are always acting within a larger framework of cause and effect. Thus, understanding our responsibility in this interconnected world is key to realizing how our choices shape the future. At the core of this responsibility is the concept of agency, the ability to make choices that matter. While it is easy to believe that our actions are inconsequential, they are not. Every day, we make decisions that either contribute to the betterment of our environment or reinforce the status quo. The small choices we make in our personal lives, how we treat others, how we spend our time, how we consume resources, accumulate to shape the society we live in. These choices may seem minor on their own, but when multiplied by the actions of countless others, they add up to a collective force that shapes the world around us. Take, for example, the choice to be kind. In a world that often seems fraught with conflict and division, a simple act of kindness can go a long way. When we take the time to show kindness to others, we contribute to a culture of compassion that ripples outward. One person's kindness can influence another to act similarly, creating a network of goodwill. In this way, kindness becomes more than just a personal choice, it becomes a responsibility to help create a more harmonious world. This sense of responsibility is not limited to moments of great tragedy or adversity. It is equally important in the everyday moments, where small acts of kindness can shift the energy of a space, influence someone's mood, and encourage a more positive community atmosphere. Responsibility extends to the environment. The choices we make in relation to how we interact with nature, whether through the way we consume resources, dispose of waste, or advocate for sustainability, carry significant weight. It is easy to think that one person's actions will not make a difference in the face of global challenges like climate change or deforestation. But the accumulation of individual choices is what ultimately drives change. The responsibility we bear as individuals is not just about the actions we take in isolation, it's about recognizing that our behaviors contribute to larger systems and that, collectively, we can create a shift in these systems. When we choose to reduce waste, support sustainable practices, or advocate for environmental policies, we are fulfilling our responsibility as stewards of the planet, ensuring that future generations inherit a world that is not only habitable but thriving. Responsibility is intertwined with our role in the communities we belong to. Each of us has the ability to influence the social fabric around us, whether in our families, workplaces, or larger social circles. The way we engage with others, the way we listen, and the way we contribute to collective efforts plays a crucial role in shaping the environment we inhabit. It is easy to overlook the impact of daily interactions, but they are essential in fostering positive social change. By acting with integrity, honesty, and respect, we set a standard for others to follow. We influence the collective mindset, and our behavior shapes the way others interact with us and with one another. A single person's decision to stand up for what is right, to speak truthfully, or to lead with empathy can alter the course of a group dynamic, pushing it toward greater fairness and understanding. Responsibility entails accountability. We are responsible not only for the actions we take, but also for the consequences they produce. This awareness of cause and effect urges us to consider the long-term implications of our choices. For example, when we opt for convenience over sustainability, we may be unknowingly contributing to environmental degradation. Similarly, when we choose to ignore injustice or inequality, we may be allowing harmful systems to persist. Responsibility requires that we not only act but reflect on how our actions align with our values and the world we hope to create. It demands that we recognize the weight of our decisions, both large and small, and act with foresight, understanding that our choices will ultimately affect the broader web of life. The sense of responsibility also empowers us to take initiative. In a world that often feels passive or out of our control, the realization that we are responsible for the world we live in is deeply liberating. It calls us to be active participants in the shaping of our reality, not passive observers. Whether it's in the workplace, in our families, or in our communities, we have the power to make changes and contribute positively. Instead of waiting for others to take the lead, we can step forward, using our unique abilities, resources, and platforms to create change. This proactive approach allows us to take ownership of our environment and to become the change we wish to see in the world. The responsibility to change the world doesn't always need to be grandiose. Small, everyday actions can have an equally powerful effect. It's not always about achieving monumental goals sometimes. It's about making a difference in someone's life in a small but meaningful way. A single word of encouragement can be the catalyst for someone to pursue their dreams. A few minutes of your time to listen to someone can offer them the support they need in a difficult moment. These small acts, though they may not seem significant, can create a ripple effect that changes the course of someone's life, or even the course of events. Understanding and embracing our responsibility in the world leads to a greater sense of purpose. We come to realize that the way we live, the choices we make, and the actions we take matter not just for ourselves, but for the world at large. By embracing our role in shaping the world, we gain the power to create change and to contribute to a future that reflects our values and aspirations. Our responsibility is not a burden, it is a privilege, one that allows us to act with intention and purpose in a world that is constantly evolving. Human beings are not isolated entities, we are deeply interconnected. Our lives, decisions, and actions are woven together in a vast and intricate web that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. The consequences of our actions ripple through this network, impacting others in ways we may never fully grasp. This interconnection is a profound aspect of the human experience, one that shows us how even the smallest of actions can reverberate across time, space, and individuals. The recognition of this interconnectedness compels us to act thoughtfully, as we are aware that our choices extend far beyond ourselves. When we interact with others, we often underestimate the lasting impact of those interactions. A brief encounter with a stranger, a conversation with a colleague, or an exchange with a family member may seem inconsequential at the time, but each of these moments holds the potential to affect someone deeply. Our words can lift someone's spirits, or they can tear someone down. A single act of kindness may be the light in someone's day, and that light may encourage them to be kind to others. In this way, the smallest actions, an encouraging word, a simple smile, a helping hand can create ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment, influencing others to act in similar ways. These ripple effects often create a chain reaction where kindness and positivity spread, affecting an ever-widening circle of people. Consider the example of a leader who acts with integrity. Such a person may not realize the far-reaching effects of their example. A leader's honesty, courage, and fairness can inspire others to adopt similar behaviors, creating a culture of integrity within a group or organization. This influence may extend well beyond the leader's direct reach, shaping the values of the broader community or even influencing societal norms. A single individual's decision to stand for what is right, even in the face of adversity, can spark change in others, encouraging them to take similar stands in their own lives. This is the power of interconnection. A single person's actions can act as a catalyst for a broader transformation, shifting attitudes and behaviors on a larger scale. The interconnectedness of humanity is not limited to immediate social circles. It stretches across communities, nations, and even generations. We are part of a larger story, one that is constantly unfolding and influenced by the actions of those who came before us. The choices made by individuals in previous generations have shaped the world we live in today, just as the choices we make now will shape the world that future generations inherit. This understanding of interconnection encourages a broader perspective, one that considers the long-term implications of our actions and how they will resonate in the future. Our responsibility to the world does not end with our own lives. We are part of a legacy that spans across time, and we have a role in ensuring that our actions leave a positive impact for those who will follow us. This web of interconnectedness also speaks to the collective power we hold as a community. While individual acts are significant, it is when we come together in shared purpose and vision that real change becomes possible. A group of individuals, each contributing their small efforts, can accomplish what no single person could achieve alone. This is especially evident in movements for social change, where the combined actions of many people working toward a common goal can challenge the status quo and alter the course of history. The civil rights movement, the fight for gender equality, and efforts to combat poverty are all examples of how individuals, when united, can create a force capable of transforming society. Each person's small contribution, whether it's through protesting, advocating, or simply raising awareness, becomes part of a larger movement that can shift public perception and bring about lasting change. The interconnected nature of humanity also emphasizes the importance of empathy. When we recognize that our lives are intricately linked with the lives of others, we develop a deeper understanding of the human condition. We begin to see beyond our own experiences and appreciate the struggles, joys, and challenges of those around us. This empathy leads to actions that are driven by compassion rather than indifference. It encourages us to support one another, to work together, and to lift each other up. By acknowledging our shared humanity, we create an environment where cooperation and mutual respect are valued, leading to more harmonious relationships and a stronger sense of community. This interconnection reminds us that our impact is not confined to physical proximity. In today's globalized world, the actions we take can have far-reaching consequences, affecting individuals and communities across the globe. A decision made in one part of the world can impact the lives of people on the other side of the planet. For example, the way we consume products, manage resources, and interact with the environment has global ramifications. A small decision to reduce our carbon footprint, support fair trade practices, or advocate for human rights can have ripple effects that benefit people in distant corners of the world. Our interconnectedness means that our actions, no matter where we are, have the potential to improve or harm the lives of others, far beyond our immediate surroundings. This realization of interconnection also challenges us to consider the long-term impact of our actions. It's easy to focus on the immediate rewards or consequences of our decisions, but when we recognize the larger web of connections, we begin to think in terms of legacy. What kind of world do we want to leave behind? What values do we want to pass on to future generations? The choices we make today, no matter how small, contribute to the shaping of that legacy. By acting with intention, we ensure that our impact is positive and far-reaching, creating a world where future generations can thrive and build upon the progress we have made. Understanding the interconnectedness of humanity instills a sense of responsibility, not just for our own actions, but for the welfare of others. It encourages us to recognize that our lives are not isolated from one another, but are instead part of a larger, dynamic whole. Every act, no matter how small, contributes to the ongoing narrative of humanity, and our actions, whether in our immediate surroundings or across the globe, carry the potential to shape the future in profound ways. When we embrace this interconnection, we are empowered to act with greater awareness and purpose, knowing that our choices have the power to change the world